Hey GP learners, welcome to another episode of the eGP Learning Tip Thursday. Today we're going to look at a really useful website called the nntt.com that you can see on the resources general page of the eGP Learning website. Before we get into that though, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell for our YouTube channel to make sure that you're informed first of when we get our next episodes. We're back off our brief break and hopefully you'll be able to get all the resources that you need. Let's get into it, shall we? So the nntt.com, or the numbers needed to treat, is a really useful website that gives you evidence base around the various different treatments and options that we have available to us in medicine. Emphasis on medicine, this is not just primary care, but there is a good section on primary care to look at. You can search if you want, but I find the reviews section a little bit more helpful. So if you look at the therapies part first of all, when this loads up, it gives you a variety of different therapies that you can consider. And if you click on them, it'll give you the information about the evidence behind it. So I'm going to scroll down to the primary care section. Here we are. And let's have a look, for example, at steroids for pharyngitis. So what this website then does, it presents the evidence behind the use of that particular treatment, and it summarizes it in 3 different ways. One, color coding. So this one says it's green, which basically means it's a really potentially good treatment to use. It talks about the benefits in terms of numbers needed to treat. So 1 in 3 were helped and pain was improved in 48 hours by using steroids for pharyngitis. And it also talks about the numbers needed to harm, or harm ratios and that kind of thing. If you look at various other kind of treatments that are available, there's lots of different things as you can see. So pregabalin for fibromyalgia, if we click on that one, let's see what it shows. Actually, it shows it's a green. It can be a potentially good treatment, obviously bearing in mind the potential side effects and use for patients in those contexts and stuff, as well as other kind of things. So where are we? It talks about alpha-androgenic agonists in the management of opioid withdrawal. So this is in contrast to methadone. And as you can see, various different information. Color-coded is yellow, and in terms of what that means, well, if we look at the system, here we are. Apologies, wrong tab. Rating system, it talks about the various different ratings. So green, therapy is best you can get, clear evidence for their use. Yellow, that the numbers needed to treat require either more study or there's not enough conclusive evidence to show where it's useful. Red rating is that there's not enough evidence to give you any sound judgment and that the benefits don't outweigh the harms. And black is the worst possible rating, which basically means that it's more likely to harm than be of any benefit. Another useful part to look at is the likelihood ratios. So what this is giving you information about the various different risk factors and things for conditions. And the reason why I find this useful, for example, I learned something. Look at this. If you click on carpal tunnel syndrome, it talks about something called Flick sign, which I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of before, in comparison to things like Tinel sign or Phelan sign, much more indicative of carpal tunnel syndrome, as you can see. And it will also then give you the evidence behind this. So I find this a really useful website to look at for finding justification and information that you can either use to help with clinicians or that you can help to share with patients. And if you wanted to learn more, you can always take their quiz and learn about the evidence base behind all the systems that they talk about. Really good for your stats knowledge, so useful for those AITs swatting up for their exams and stuff, really good information. I find this a really helpful and useful website to use, not only both for myself, but in my tutorials for my trainees, as well as for helping patients understand the clinical decisions that we make, and I would really recommend having a look at it. Hope you found this useful, guys. As always, subscribe to our channel. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, as well as on the website eGPlearning.co.uk, and make sure you subscribe to our channels. And as always, comment, share, and keep eGP learning. See you later, guys. Bye.